Whiting with Paddle TV with another in-depth, unbiased gear review, and today I am talking about a kayak that's designed for chilling out as much as it is for paddling, and that's the Perception Hangtime 11. And so while I'm hanging out, let me tell you a bit more about the Hangtime. The Perception Hangtime retails for $950 US. It's 10 feet, 10 inches long. It's 33 inches wide. It weighs 68 pounds or 31 kilos. It has a capacity of 350 pounds or 160 kilos. And its primary use is for flat water recreational paddling or lounging. The kayak features, above all else, a padded stern seating area. It also has a reclining seat, 6 cup holders, a paddle park, a padded deck area, molded footrests or footwells, and bow storage with a bungee. The great thing about paddling is that there really is a type of paddling for everyone. And for some people, it's pushing their personal limits and really challenging themselves. For other people, it's just getting out on the water and having a relaxing experience outdoors with friends and family. And that, of course, is what the Perception Hangtime 11 is all about. It's not about covering big distances or anything like that. It's about comfort, relaxation, and enjoying some time on the water. But the only way to find out if it does a good job of that is to leave the comforts of my hammock, get wet, hit the water, and to do so, I'm actually doing a really cool float trip, something I've been looking forward to for a while. I'm hooking up with Dan Chewett, the Southern Paddler, and we're gonna float the Flint River just outside Huntsville, Alabama. So, well, I got still a few more minutes before I have to hook up with him, but I'll be testing this very soon. I might have to let Dan know I'm going to be a little late. Well, that was pretty much the perfect way to test out the Hangtime. So let me tell you what I learned, and starting like I always do with portability. Not too much to talk about. This is an around 11 foot long kayak. And so that's relatively short for a kayak, which makes it easier to move around, to get on your vehicle and all that kind of stuff. It's 68 pounds, and that's kind of what you'd expect for a kayak that's made the way this is. So it's not light, but it's not overly heavy. You know, it's a portable recreational kayak. Now let's talk comfort, because that's pretty much what this thing is designed for. And there's a few things to talk about with comfort. We're going to talk about the comfort of paddling and the comfort for lounging. And then the comfort for paddling, first of all. This boat has a really nice seat. And this is what Perception, Wilderness Systems, Pelican, the companies under the Pelican umbrella are really known for, is having comfortable seating positions and nice seats. And this one has another one of those comfy seats. Now, it's not a full frame seat. And what I mean by that, it's got a frame on the backrest, which is adjustable. You can change its pitch, whether you're actively paddling or chilling out, but it's sitting on the floor. Now, there's a nice thick pad on the floor, but what that means is it doesn't contour as much to your butt as a full framed or a suspended seat that's off the floor of the boat. Very comfortable still, not as comfortable as a suspension seat, but comfortable. The other thing it has, with the straps on the side, you can lift the seat under your thighs, and that thigh support is really helpful. It just provides your upper leg with support so that they're not always wanting to flop down. And that's a really nice feature. So comfortable for sure. Now, on the downside of comfort are the footwells. I'm never a fan of footwells The problem with footwells being twofold, this one has 4 footwells, and inevitably, and it was the case here, I wish I was in between. The ideal sitting position for me would have put me in between the footwell position, so I either felt a little crammed up or a little too long. That's the nature of footwells. The other problem with footwells is you get a lot more heel support from them than you do ball of your foot support that you get from foot pegs or foot braces. So I'm never a fan of footwells. Deal breaker, absolutely not. But, in a perfect world, I might spend more money for this kayak with actual foot braces. That's the paddler in me. For lounging, footwells, not a big deal, which brings us to lounging and comfort of lounging. And it's, with the adjustable seat that you can just crank right back, you can lounge really nicely just in the seat. Or, as I tested quite thoroughly, both when we were taking a break on land and floating downstream, the lounge seat itself, it was surprisingly comfortable. It's nice and big and contoured, and this headrest that you have here, it's adjustable basically by the position you put this chair in, depending on how tall you are. You can adjust where that headrest is. It was comfortable. It was really nice. If this is something that you would really use, and there's kind of 2 places you use it. You use it just floating down the river, but you'd also, probably more so, use it when you're taking a break on the shore. Instead of sitting in the same seat or sitting on the side of the kayak, you basically have a lounge chair, a beach chair built into the kayak. So surprise, surprise, top marks for comfort for this boat. Now let's talk stability. Is this kayak stable? Absolutely. This is a 33-inch wide kayak, and so it is designed to be stable more than fast moving. The pontoon style hull of this kayak as well lends itself to stability. And no surprise, it is very, very stable. You can stand up in this thing, no problem. That's really all I have to say about stability. You'd be hard pressed to flip this thing. Moving on to performance and maneuverability. This boat is designed for chilling out. Not for paddling long distances, not for winning any races, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by how well this thing tracked and it traveled forward. It's got the pontoon hull, but it has a nice bow that really helped it cut through the water better than I was expecting. And so it tracked quite well for an 11-foot kayak. I mean, it's an 11-foot, 33-inch wide kayak, so this thing is not fast, but it actually did a pretty darn good job of tracking and going forward. At the same time, it's only 11 feet long, so it was quite easy to turn around. But it wasn't the simplest kayak to turn because the hull design put more emphasis on tracking. So for me, I like that. I don't need a kayak that turns as fast as possible. I like a kayak that can actually travel forward a bit better. So I really liked its performance. Now, when it comes to features, this thing, well, I've already talked about, the main feature, the lounge seat in the back, it totally does a great job of what it's doing, what it's designed for. Otherwise, you got the bow storage up front with the bungees. That's actually a nice feature if you want to bring a bigger pack, a dry bag to throw up there. It's got a paddle park, which is, that's a nice feature too. I did find myself using it so the control your paddle doesn't get away from you. It's got lots of storage behind the seat here and even some bungees there to put a tackle box or what have you, another gear bag, even a water bottle that you don't want bouncing around. Not too much to talk about features. It doesn't have a ton, but every feature works and makes sense to me. So good features. That brings us to overall. So let's talk overall value. $950 US, sub $1,000 kayak. To me, there's a lot of kayaks in the sub $1,000 range. And this is one that, if this is your style of kayak, if you love the idea of having a lounge seat in a kayak for, when you get to your destination or even on the water, then this thing is, I think, pretty darn good value. Yes, I would love to see foot braces in it. Yes, you're going to you paddle this thing into lounging it. You're going to be a little wet because your butt's on the not off the bottom of the kayak, and the lounge seat is going to get wet if you're on the water. But this is designed for, I think, largely warm conditions, chilling out, just going for a paddle with friends and family. And for $950, this is a great recreational kayak. You know, it's not going to be for everyone. It's definitely not going to be for everyone. But for the people who do like the idea of a lounge seat in here, I think it's a great idea. And it's definitely worth the money. So there you have it. That's all I think I have to say about the Perception Hangtime 11. You don't see very many truly innovative things in the kayaking world. And when they do, they really stick out. And so you either say to yourself, that's gimmicky. Or you say to yourself, hey, you know what? That's kind of cool. For the right person, that's cool. And for me, that's cool. For the right person, this boat, this is a cool boat. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. I give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Paddle TV if you haven't already. And stay tuned because we got lots more paddling gear reviews, tips, and paddling adventures coming your way. Oh, speaking of which, paddling adventures, keep your eyes open for the full Flint River paddling adventure. It's part of a series I did while down here exploring the Tennessee River line. Definitely a river to put on your bucket list.